So right up top, we are just a couple of weeks out from Trump's sentencing in New York and his criminal trial there. I mentioned that you were a prosecutor. Based on your experience, do you think that Donald Trump is more likely to get a prison sentence or a sentence of probation when it's finally handed down on July 11th?
I mean, I think you got to look at his behavior during the trial and his willingness to accept responsibility because, he had an interview with a probation officer recently, and in federal sentencings, right, the judge has to consider a variety of factors. It's similar in New York State court. And one of those considerations is whether the person is remorseful, whether the person actually has respect for the law, whether the person actually won't recidivate, commit additional crimes. And the judge can also consider whether they're currently charged with additional crimes. And if you look at all of those factors in this particular case, you've got still outstanding criminal cases pending against him involving incredibly serious criminal conduct, the theft of classified national security information pending in Florida right now, obviously the attempt to overthrow the entire United States government. And then you've got the seriousness of the offense in New York, which, the right is trying to act like it's not a big deal. And maybe in other business fraud contexts, that kind of a crime would really qualify as the Class E felony, the quote, lowest degree of felony that there is. But you have to look at the unique facts and circumstances in that particular case. And in his case, that fraud related to an attempt to suppress information from the American people days before a presidential election. And it's also just not fair for the American people and other candidates running for federal office or state office to have a competitor cheat that system. We have campaign finance disclosure rules for a reason, because we believe voters are entitled to know certain information about candidates and how money, more importantly, how money is being spent in the system so that it is not corrupted by foreign adversaries or special interest groups above what those limits are. And that, to me, is really what the crux of this case is. And I think because there has been no remorsefulness, because there have been attacks on the judge, his family, the rule of law, witnesses in the case, violation of court orders, contempt, all of that really in a normal criminal case